All right, here we go. Florida is life? Are you crazy, insane, or stupid? You gotta pick one of those because only someone of a very terrible caliber would actually believe that. Florida is not life. Florida sucks. Florida has bad internet. Florida's always raining. Florida has hurricane season. Florida has Miami. I think that's enough of a reason why you should never go to Florida. I mean, it has Disneyland, and that's like it. I mean, it's not Disneyland, it's Disney World, but you could just go to California for Disney World. Universal Studios, just go to Universal Japan. We don't need Florida, bro. Chuck it off the United States. Fuck Florida. Um, fuck. I gotta make sure I can actually hear. I can actually have y'all hear this. It always changes. Okay. First reacted of the day is going to be by this YouTuber Boon Yu. I've seen a couple of his content before, couple of his videos before. Just scrolling throughout, the general YouTubes. Haven't subscribed. He's just a home channel recommendation feed, but you should check him out if we're watching this, so that he gets extra views on his 57K view video. Thank you for the Prime, Norabora. Oh my god. Oh shit. I'm blocking the fucking thing. I'll move myself over here. Down here. Move myself down there. Alright, let's go.
Might have had to die.
What?
No, all right. I know that sounds.
Not gonna lie, guys. Harambe might have had to die.
What?
No, all right. I know that sounds bad.
After nearly a decade of endless pain and suffering, people often point to the death of this gorilla as the moment it all went wrong. And through extensive monkey business, I've discovered they might actually be right. It's time you know the truth. His life, his death, who's actually to blame, and why he may have genuinely altered history. Who killed Harambe? Spoilers, it's the government. I'm gonna explain it, it's the government. But first, we have to start at the start of gorillas getting it on. The western lowland gorilla, scientifically known as gorilla, was once so rare it was considered a mythical creature. But once they were known, we of course killed them all. So since the 80s, zoos have been helping male and female gorillas go, as primatologists say, apeshit. It was through these breeding programs that the Gladys Porter Zoo in Brownsville, Texas welcomed a new baby gorilla in 1999. A naming competition dubbed him Harambe, after a Rita Marley song and a Swahili word for pulling together as a community. Oh, how prophetic. Harambe.
Oh wow, I never knew any of this stuff about Harambe, bro. I just knew the gorilla died, and people made a lot of sex jokes about it. So that's why they were just constantly breeding.
They lived a normal, happy gorilla baby life. You know, except for the whole living in captivity thing. And that time, his mother, brother, and sister were killed in a chlorine gas spill, like the French in a trench. But apart from that, it was probably pretty cool. In 2014, Harambe was old enough to go meet some honeys at a new zoo, so he was sent to the scene of the crime. The Cincinnati Zoo and Botanical Gardens, can't forget the gardens, is no chump chimp zoo. It's the second oldest in America, and known as one of the crown jewels of the Queen City, along with Chili Spaghetti and Joe Burrow's hairline. It opened in 1873 with exciting exhibits such as 6 raccoons. Its first gorilla was Susie in the 1930s. Everyone knows the cure to a Great Depression is a funny monkey. So they trained her to wear human clothes and use utensils. She became a star, dying at the ripe old age of 22. As zoos slowly realized you actually had to take care of animals to keep them alive, conditions for gorillas improved. Eventually, the zoo became so well known for its endangered species breeding, it was dubbed Sexiest Zoo in America by someone who should be on a watch list. Harambe arrived in gorilla world a young stud, and by his 17th birthday, it was hoped he would soon be the father of the next generation of kooky Kongs. Little did anyone know, the very next day would change everything.
These shits really are breeding grounds, though. Oh my god. It's kind of crazy if you really think about it, how inhumane some zoos and animal enclosures really are, in the way that they force their animals to be a spectacle for regular people while breeding them to do very specific, minute things, or breeding specifically for human interaction. And I think that's pretty funny. You never do it to a normal human, would you? Well, actually, you are doing it to normal humans. People are being bred, Nepo babies, to become celebrities. There are politicians who are built up by the richest, all the richest people of the world, in order to indoctrinate them into presidency or anything, you know. And, you know, it's a constant cycle. The people at the top are constantly manipulating the people that are closer to the bottom to be these signs of entertainment, I guess you could say.
May 28th, 2016. On a busy Memorial Day weekend, a mother decides to bring her 4 children to the zoo. When they visited the gorilla exhibit, her 3-year-old son said he wanted to get in the water with the gorillas. His mother scolded him to behave and turned to deal with her other kids. In that exact moment, the boy scurried under the fence, pushed through brush, and fell 15 feet into the gorilla moat. Hearing the splash and screams, Harambe came out of his cave and immediately approached the boy. Harambe pushed him against a wall and stood between him and the growing crowd. Seemingly agitated by their screams, Harambe began pulling the boy away. Yet, he didn't look aggressive. Whenever he stopped, he actually seemed to be helping the boy, sitting him up and even pulling up his pants. Panicked zookeepers called the gorillas inside. The 2 females complied. Harambe did not. The situation quickly deteriorated as Harambe became more agitated, pulling the boy back whenever he tried to run. After over 10 minutes, Harambe had pulled the boy out of the moat and was dragging him around the enclosure. The dangerous animal response team believed the boy's life was in imminent danger, and as the last guests were rushed out of Gorilla World, the boy was rushed to the hospital and released the same day with minor cuts and a concussion. Harambe's head would not be so lucky. In a single shot, the gorilla was dead.
Dicks out for Harambe, bro. Rest in peace. Everyone take a moment of silence for Harambe. Also take a moment of silence because I have to be right back. Give me 1 second. See, that wasn't so bad. You still understand why they didn't just trank Harambe. He was with that boy for 10 plus minutes, and he didn't hurt him. No, actually, yeah. That it's crazy how their first choice of action, instead of using a suppressant, is to instantly kill the gorilla when it showed 0 signs of any like harmful intent, and it really just looked like it was playing around with the kid. At the end of the day, it was helping the kid out a lot and just picking him up, playing around with him. And honestly, it's the parents' fault for not paying attention to the kids enough that the Harambe fucking got shot. Like, why are you letting your kid get dragged around by a fucking gorilla, not even knowing what could possibly happen to him? Let's continue the video.
it or not, a 450-pound great ape getting his dome piece removed by Lee Harvey Irwin is bound to turn some heads. The next day, a video of the incident went viral, and stories of the slain silverback spread across the news. Everyone was outraged. How could you lose track of your child so badly they become the new Andero? People were furious with the zoo for not tranquilizing Harambe instead. As with any tragedy, people suddenly became experts, with everyone
Wow, that's crazy. Literally, as soon as we just talk about this, it's in the video. I promise I didn't pre-watch it. I promise.
online suddenly having a degree in grade 8 behavioral studies. He hadn't done anything wrong. He was just chilling, trying to get it on with some fine gorilla gash. We've all been there before, right? Right, guys? Clearly, he was just trying to protect the boy. Hell, he seemed like a better parent than the boy's mom. A Change.org petition called for her arrest for neglect, getting over 500,000 signatures. Some insisted kids should be kept on leashes. While they may grow emotionally distant, at least they won't be physically. The mother posted on Facebook, thanking the zookeepers but seeming very dismissive of the creature turned cadaver. Accidents happen is not what people wanted to hear, who promptly ran her and the zoo off the internet. For days, candlelit vigils were held, along with protests. People questioned whether gorillas in zoos was ethical at all. Animal rights groups filed complaints seeking tens of thousands in penalties. PETA used the opportunity to say animals like gorillas should never be held in captivity. But of course this was PETA, so nobody took them seriously. Yet as justice for Harambe trended online, Harambe tributes began fusing with tributes for other dead celebs, and before long, memes spread like wildfire. Suddenly, everyone knew Harambe. Harambe touched all of our lives. Harambe wasn't just a gorilla, he was the cornerstone of our sanity as a species. The Twitter user Sexual Jumanji posted this image, leading comedian Brandon Wardell to adopt the phrase "Dicks out for Harambe." At one of his shows, he began a "Dicks out for Harambe" chant, which one man in the crowd really loved. Machete. Danny Trejo found it so funny for some reason, they made a Vine.
Hey, dicks out for Harambe.
It of course immediately went viral, and soon everyone had their dicks out. And once they were out, there was no putting them back in.
Right now. Okay, thank you. Keep it moving.
There were petitions to erect a statue outside the White House, make Harambe a Pokemon, put him on money, change Cincinnati to Harambe City. A teen in Ohio tricked Google into renaming the street of his high school from Shankland Road, which is already a funny name, to Harambe Drive. Young Thug released the song Harambe on his album about his idols. Video games released, tribute songs released. While people were actually kinda sad, the grief was so great it verged on godlyhood. It was Schrodinger's meme, both ironic and genuine at the same time. The candlelight vigil Wicks Out for Harambe was held in London, with people traveling from across Europe to attend. There were shoddily printed photos, birthday candles and bananas, people in banana suits, all things I want at my vigil one day. The zoo, of course, was not amused, especially after their director's Twitter was hacked for Harambe. The Philadelphia Zoo had to stop its gorilla naming competition after votes for Harambe flooded it. And votes for Harambe didn't stop there. During the 2016 election, "Make America Ape Again" was an ironic slogan, and candidate Donald Trump was even asked about it.
It was almost like a mother holding a baby.
A poll in Texas found that 2% of voters supported Harambe over the two candidates, with 3% supporting these nuts, which is all.
Okay, yeah. That, despite being a kid, 2016 elections, I was 11 when that happened. Bro, despite being a kid, I heard about the polling results for fucking Harambe being put through, and I genuinely thought that there was a chance that there could be a gorilla as president. Because I didn't know any better. I don't know anything about politics. It's just two old people going up against each other. I don't know anything Obama did. I'm just here, bro. I'm just existing. So that was crazy. And all I heard was Harambe good, Hillary okay, Trump bad. and if Trump wins, it's the end of the world as we know it. That's the fear mongering that was going on back then, because there wasn't really much else. It's just Trump is the end of the world. Don't vote Trump, and then Trump made America great again. I guess we probably should have listened to the left back then during his first election, huh? Now he's back on for number 2, and we still didn't listen. It sure as hell does look like the end of the world now, huh?
To say the Green Party had as much support as a dead ape, and people did vote for him, some claimed tens of thousands of times. And though that's definitely an exaggeration, it didn't stop people from blaming the gorilla for the outcome. People found a photo of George W. Bush with Harambe's mom somehow, leading to the meme Bush did Harambe. It was easily meme of the year, beating out other top contenders such as Damn Daniel and Here Come Dat Boy. Yet instead of dying in a few weeks like other memes, Harambe lasted years. In 2017, an eBay seller posted a bidding for a Cheeto that looked like Harambe if you squint your eyes so hard you close them. The bidding started at $12, and by the time it was sold, cost $100,000.
100,000 for a Cheeto? It's not even one of a kind. It just came out that way from the fucking machine, bro. Technically, all Cheetos are one of a kind if you want to say something like that. You could probably find a new Cheeto that comes out looking exactly like this because of how random their shapes are. 132 bids. Going up to 100,000 USD. Why are you spending your money like this? Who has the money to spend on this? Who won this bid? I need to know the person that won this bid. Talk to them individually and ask why they wasted their money on such a piece of shit option. You could have got anything in the world. And you chose a fucking Harambe Cheeto. You won it, I wish you won it. You wouldn't have enough money by the time this was fucking out. Try me.
Needless to say, my hands have been caked in orange every tragedy since. Elon Musk released a Harambe tribute song. 3 years late, of course, determined to keep his title as world's most embarrassing man. Even in 2022, Sam Hubbard of the Bengals said that they would win the Super Bowl for Harambe, and then promptly lost. Somehow, the monkey martyr became the meme that could never die. Harambe, once a tragic tale of zoos gone wrong, is now forever cursed to be the centerpiece of this stupid image people post whenever celebrities die. Now that we have all the context, it's time for the moment you've all been waiting for. Through it all, who's truly to blame for Harambe's death? What went wrong? Who really killed Harambe? It's time for everyone's favorite part of a tragedy, the blame game. Your most trusted source for who to send your death threats to, because that always makes a tragedy better. The mother clearly took most of the blame, with some saying she should have been shot instead. And while you can certainly criticize her, actual witnesses don't. They say she was dealing with 2 other kids with a baby in her arms, and it all happened in a split second. Police found no evidence of neglect during the incident or even at home. Plus, the family refused donations from sympathizers, saying the money should be sent to the zoo in Harambe's name. If Home Alone happened in real life, you'd be calling for this lady's head. Once when I was a kid, I ate a poison berry I knew was poison just to see what would happen. Unfortunately, as every parent knows, you can't stop kids from being stupid. Many question why he wasn't just tranquilized. Well, only a month before the incident, Cha-Cha the chimpanzee escaped his zoo in Japan, taking a jolly jaunt through the city on some power lines. Now that's a bed you don't want a monkey jumping on, so workers decided to shoot him in the back with a tranq dart to peacefully bring him in. This made Cha-Cha immediately freak out and try to attack one of the workers. Tranks take a while to work, if they work at all. Now imagine this is not a chimp and instead a half-ton silverback with a toddler, and you'll understand why tranks weren't on.
Okay. Now that makes a lot more sense that they would instantly start Well, yeah, they were instantly start figuring out right after getting tranked. Nothing strong enough to instantly sedate or numb like their arms or anything. Damn. Well, shit, yeah. If they tranked Harambe, that kid might as well have fucking died. So I see why they shot him, but Harambe still seemed kind of peaceful. They probably could have went up to him, like got a worker to go up to him and grab the kid. Maybe.
The menu. But why'd they have to do anything? Gorillas are famous for not harming kids. In 1985, a 5-year-old fell into a gorilla exhibit in Britain, knocking himself out. The silverback Jambo gently approached the boy, caressing his back and seeming to protect him. As he woke up crying, Jambo went to a different end of the enclosure so keepers could get him. The same happened at the Brookfield Zoo in Chicago. Female Binti Jua picked up the unconscious boy with her own baby on her back and carried him to the door so the keepers could grab him. Witnesses and animal experts agree Harambe seemed to be protecting the boy. He wasn't aggressive. Gorillas often drag their young the way Harambe did. According to the Gorilla Organization, which sounds awesome, when apes have things they shouldn't, keepers will negotiate with them to get it back, with things like their favorite toys or fruits. Now, unfortunately, we will never get to know how many pineapples the average gorilla values a human life at. Yet, as I mentioned, Harambe didn't even come to the negotiating table when keepers called. One witness said it was clear he wasn't giving the boy up. And while witnesses say Harambe was protective at first, key words at first. Now, obviously, none of this is Harambe's fault. He was literally just a confused animal. He had no idea not listening meant Maya Higo was gonna up the stick on him. And even if he did do it, you know what I mean? That being said, nobody, including experts for some reason, seemed to mention that after the famous video, Harambe became more agitated and erratic, and multiple witnesses report him throwing the boy. According to one witness, 10 feet into the air and onto his back. This seems to not be normal for gorillas. They say it looked like he could kill the boy at any second, even if unintentionally. While the dragging was normal, it was still dangerous, and coupled with the throwing, most experts agree the zoo made the right call. Again, Harambe deserved to live, but when he chose free will, he sadly took away any other choice. So who is the real culprit behind all of this? You know it, you love it, government neglect.
Okay, but like throwing him into the air, I feel like we might have a few witnesses that are just exaggerating the story at this point. Like, if going from the injuries that the kid had when coming out the hospital, he only had a few scrapes and cuts from dragging and a minor concussion. Throwing him into the air, that's a small ass child, bro. A small ass child is not going to come out with just a few scrapes and a minor concussion after being thrown 10 feet in the air. Those people are definitely exaggerating and wanted that gorilla dead, bro. There's no way. No way.
After the incident, the USDA said the barrier at Gorilla World was not in compliance. Yet the zoo quickly pointed out the USDA had said the barrier was compliant for the past 38 years, including during an inspection just weeks before. Sure, you can also blame the zoo for neglect. I mean, just a month earlier, they forgot to close not one, but 2 doors, releasing polar bears into their back rooms. And I mean, look at this. It's literally 2 ropes and some leaves between children and a gorilla pit. It's a miracle nothing happened sooner. They should have known. But then again, if your mechanic tells you your car is in top shape for 4 decades and then it randomly explodes, they can't suddenly say it's all your fault. A USDA spokesperson claimed that there was no specific part of the barrier that wasn't in compliance, but when it failed to keep the child out, it became non-compliant, which, call me crazy, is not how safety regulations involving children should work. Unfortunately, the TikTok home inspector guy wasn't there to condescendingly point out the flaws. Since the incident, the fence has been improved. So, were the joke conspiracies true? Was Harambe killed by the government? In a roundabout way, kinda. Is Harambe's death responsible for the state of the world today? If you think enough people voted for him to mess with the election, then in a roundabout way, kinda. But at the end of the day, all we do know is that human failures led to the death of an innocent animal. Yet there's a bright side. After Harambe was killed, keepers did the only thing they could think to do: extract all of his sperm. This way, his genes and legacy could live on. The boy Harambe may or may not have been protecting is now a well-adjusted teen. Maybe. The family kind of fell off the face of the earth, probably for the better. And just last year, the Cincinnati Zoo welcomed a new baby boy gorilla, Maboka Joe. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced, but that's how I like to say it. Maboka, similar to Harambe, means community. Not to mention, his mother Gladys is from Harambe's home, Gladys Porter Zoo. I doubt it was a coincidence. Maybe one day he'll grow up to fulfill the legacy Harambe left him. Hopefully without getting one pumped by a man in cargo shorts. Like and subscribe. Bye bye.
Not gonna lie, pretty good video, pretty good video. You know what? I'll give him the sub. Give him the like and the sub. Why not? Good reacts. I didn't know all that shit about Harambe.